Lean versus D's, man. Which one do you prefer? You want to be Dwayne The Rock Johnson or Brad Pitt from Fight Club? Michael Phelps or a linebacker? Which one do you prefer? Have a goal in mind, an end goal, that the physique that you see yourself being. If you're training for looks, that's cool, but eventually you're gonna run out of motivation. You're gonna run out of reasons to get up and still hit the same body part once you acquire it. I recommend training for capabilities. Acquire a craft and train for that. That way, you'll never run out of reasons to be motivated. Initially, when I started to work out, some of it was for self-defense, some of it was to look good. But as I got more and more into it, I got more on the side of efficiency. I wanted to be efficient with different movements. I wanted to be more efficient with different tasks. I also wanted to be more efficient with regards to self-defense. When you're muscle bound and D's looking like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, it's kind of a deterrence in a way of self-defense. So a lot of people see big guys and they say, yo, that guy's huge, I don't want to mess with him. And you have the rare occasion where people still mess with you, no matter if you're big or not. If you can't defend yourself with some kind of technique, you just look ridiculous. It's different. You level up when you apply technique with the physicality, right, of strength, endurance training, and explosiveness. All right, it's kind of like, for all my anime fans, Dragon Ball Z, when Goku first turned Super Saiyan, you remember how big and D's he had to be to get that kind of strength. But as he progressed and he went Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, he didn't have to get as big as D's, and he was way more powerful. He just got more shredded, he got more focused. It's the same thing that applies to you. So if you're working out for self-defense reasons, keep this in mind. You don't necessarily have to get the biggest. You can train to be very strong, train to be very explosive, and keep a slim, muscular, athletic frame that's gonna help you be more efficient at self-defense, at your task at hand. The biggest you are doesn't necessarily have to be the strongest you are. You have to train your nervous system to be strong. That's where strength resides. Your nervous system is what recruits your muscle fibers to do the task at work. You can be a big guy with big muscles, and you can be a slimmer guy with a leaner frame and leaner muscles and still be stronger than the big guy, because he's trained his nervous system to actually engage the muscle fibers to a deeper level to get certain tasks done, to the bigger guy who hasn't trained his nervous system in such a way to recruit more muscle fibers to handle the task at hand. Your strength comes from your nervous system. That's what engages your muscles to a certain level. I don't train to get big. It's a shallow attainment. You understand? Unless I'm a bodybuilder and I'm training to compete in a bodybuilding championship of something of the sort, I don't need that kind of strain on my joints and my ligaments. Train to be efficient for your everyday tasks, from taking groceries out the car to lifting things and putting it on the shelf. If you're training for strength, you can train for strength without getting super big. All these muscle bound guys, a lot of them do it just for aesthetics, but once you get that look, it's kind of a shallow accomplishment. And it's even harder to stay motivated, because if I'm training for a bigger chest and I get a bigger chest, it's hard for me to still stay motivated and want to go to the gym if I already attained what it is that I set out to gain. If my motivations for me trying to be physically fit and capable are rooted in me being efficient in a specific task, like a sport, self-defense, running a marathon, whatever have you, then it's going to be easy for me to be motivated, because I'm always going to want to be more efficient at the task that I've designated for myself. So hypothetically speaking, if you are an NBA star, or if you want to play basketball to the best of your ability, you're going to want to gear your training towards your fitness in such a manner that it makes you be a better NBA star, makes you be a better basketball player. So you're gonna want to train to be agile, you're gonna want to train to be endurance, you're gonna want to train to be explosive, right? You're gonna want to train to be more mobile. These are the things that you're gonna want to continuously train in and be motivated training, because you're always gonna want to be better at the task at hand that you're training towards. Whereas if you're just going to the gym just for looks, it's empty, it's hollow, all right? It's kind of superficial and it's not really rooted in anything, right? So me personally, me being involved in boxing, I train to be the better boxer. I train to be hit harder, be more explosive. You know what I mean? I train for self-defense. So I don't want to be super big. I still want to look good in my clothes. I want to be agile and be flexible, right? At the same time, I still want to be dangerous. I still want to be strong. I still want to be powerful, explosive. You could accomplish these things without getting super big. You know what I mean? You want to be Michael Phelps, or do you want to be a linebacker? Or Brad Pitt from Snatch, actually, which is a better example. Because I don't know if you've seen the movie Snatch. Go out, go see it. It's classic. But he plays a kind of gypsy bare knuckle boxer in the movie, and he's just super efficient at knocking people out that are way bigger than him, because he's trained at the art of bare knuckle boxing since he was a kid, and he has the technique down to a T. So it doesn't matter with regards to size for him. He's just very efficient at knocking people out. So train for efficiency at the task that you designate for yourself. That's something that you could always stay rooted in. You can always be motivated. If you have something that you're grounded in, that you can continuously get better at, continuously be more efficient at, like knocking people out, you can always get more efficient at that if that is something you desire. If self-defense is something that you hold highly. Now, when you go to the gym and you're just training for a big back, once you get the big back, I'm sorry to tell you, but that's it. There's nothing more to it. Once you get a big chest, I'm sorry to tell you, that's it. There's nothing more to it, okay? So find something that you want to be more efficient at and help that to motivate you. Help that to guide you. A lot of times people just get into fitness without any idea of where their end goal is, or where they imagine themselves looking like in the future. They just start, and that can hinder your motivation if you don't have a vision of yourself at the end of the tunnel. So have a vision of yourself. Imagine what you want to look like at the end of your fitness journey. Why are you getting into fitness? Okay? Imagine what you'd feel like if you lost 20 pounds, what you'd feel like if you gained 20 pounds. This helps to keep you motivated, gives you insight into who you want to become, what you want for yourself with regards to your fitness journey. Talking from experience, I've been that guy that wanted to get super big, and it wasn't for me. I can get super big pretty easy. My body tends to want to hold on to weight because I train consistently, and I've been on a diet since I can remember. So whenever I put in more calories than usual, my body tends to just want to hold on to it. So my body has a tendency to gain weight easy. But I know this, but I know what I want for myself. I have goals, I have an idea. I know what's comfortable for me that I like. That leaves me more proactive in the things I want to be efficient at. Like self-defense. I'm strong enough at the weight I am. I'm fast enough at the weight I am. I'm explosive enough at the weight I am. This is where I'm most mobile. This is where my speed is at its top notch. Okay, so these are things that I keep an eye on with regards to where I want to be, because I have an idea of what I see myself as, where I want to be more efficient. But if you don't have an idea where you want to be more efficient, you just doing your thing, it's hard to get motivated. It's hard to actually hone in and figure out what is right for you. Keep this in mind. You want to be efficient at your tasks. The thing about Brad Pitt in Snatch, he is this slim body type, decent chest, good core, but super efficient at his task, at what he does best, because he's trained that way. He's not overcompensating in the gym for something. And that's the thing. A lot of times people get into the gym and they get into fitness with a mind frame of deterrence. Sometimes they want to get big to deter altercations, but it's hollow, because you're gaining a false sense of security. Because where there is somebody that may feel like you're too big and they may not want to roll with you, there's that one guy that doesn't care how big you are and does want to roll with you, because you have that false sense of security and you didn't train for efficiency. It's hollow, and now you're insecure, right? Now you're hoping your big frame is good enough to deter people from messing with you, but that's not guaranteed. It's best to train for efficiency with regards to self-defense. Pick up a self-defense class, pick up some lessons, pick up jiu-jitsu, pick up boxing, pick up wrestling, pick up something, and train to be more efficient at that. Don't just train for aesthetics and shallow looks. Train to be capable, train to be agile, so you're quick on your feet, Train to be mobile so you're flexible. Train for strength. Train to be explosive so you can apply your strength with precision. Train all these things so you don't have to be that guy that's over confiscating with muscle, putting extra pain, extra pressure on his joints, his ligaments. You can just be the guy that's secure with his own skin, with a nice, fit, lean, muscular frame, but with capabilities and super efficiency of defending himself and his loved ones. Be that guy, right? Be that guy that when he puts on a shirt and a tie and a suit, you can see he's lean, you can see he's muscular, right? His chest comes up further than his stomach, right? You can see his abs through his shirt, right? Be that guy. Don't be the muscle bound guy where it's like he's walking around and he has no neck and he's super slow. He can't do any pull-ups because he's so big. He hasn't done calisthenics, but he's only big, right? Don't be big for nothing. That's what we call big for nothing. There's a lot of guys out there that are just big for nothing. And the survey is in. Girls are more attracted to guys with the athletic look than the muscle-bound juice head. You don't want to be some muscle-bound, no neck, right? Robotic, right? In his movements type of guy, because you're trying to overcompensate. You're trying to look tough in opposed to actually being tough, in opposed to actually strategically building a craft so you can actually be secure in defense of yourself and in defense of others. Whereas you don't want to walk around looking like, oh, I'm big, so don't mess with me, because that doesn't work anymore. Train to be efficient. If you're in the gym and you're getting super big, ask yourself, why are you doing this? A lot of times these guys are risking injury, putting too much tension on their joints, moving big amounts of weight for what? This is not your job. That's not your job. You're not training for Mr. Olympia. Ask yourself, why are you doing these things? How much muscle is enough? What are you training to be efficient at? Are you training to be efficient at anything? What do you imagine all this muscle that you're getting, what do you imagine that's going to do for you in the future? What is it you're trying to attain? Arnold Schwarzenegger, when he was doing his thing, he had a dream. He was actually trying to be Mr. Olympia. He wanted to be a bodybuilder. If you're in a gym and you're just getting big just to get big, ask yourself, what is that about? What is that rooted in? Is it rooted in the self of insecurity? Is that what it is? Is it rooted in insecurity? Because if it is, you've got to check that. You got to acknowledge that. You got to be involved in your fitness for your health and well-being. If you get involved with fitness in a sense to deter others from messing with you, then that is a shallow attainment. You have to understand that, because big does not necessarily scare anymore. A guy that's actually rooted and efficient in a self-defense method is going to be more confident. He's going to be more secure with himself and his own skin. So even if he decides to even want to get big, yes, then it's double the trouble, because now he wants to get big, but he's already efficient at the task of self-defense. He actually knows what he wants. He knows his limits. If he decided on his journey of getting bigger, it's hindering his efficiency in self-defense, then he's going to scale it back, because that's primarily what he's rooted in. All right, so he's always going to prioritize being efficient at self-defense, whereas people who don't have an idea exactly what they want to be efficient at, what they're rooted in, they're not going to know or be aware of these things. They're just going to want to get big, with not consciously understanding what they're doing or why they're doing it. So just be aware. I mean, who doesn't want to be the guy with the six-pack, nice chest, nice arms, not too big, right in the middle, and knocking out linebackers? That's efficiency. Train to be efficient at your task. If you're in the NFL and you are a linebacker and that's your job, train to be efficient at that. But if you're just the average guy who just wants to get into fitness to be healthier, you need a vision. You need a goal. You need to figure out what you want to look like in the future, why you're deciding to get into fitness. What is it you're trying to accomplish? Are you trying to just lose 10 pounds? If so, why? Are you trying to gain 10 pounds of muscle? If so, why? Ask yourself these questions. It's okay to want to look good. Of course you want to look good. Broad shoulders, big chest, small ways, hey, of course you want those things for yourself. I want them too, but don't let it get out of control where it's making you less efficient of being you, where it's getting strenuous on your joints. Alright? When you're starting to look weird in your clothes, think about it. Think about it. Like I said, the survey is in. Girls are attracted to the more athletic look. Get yourself athletic, fit, and capable. So if you want to gain strength and power, train for strength and power. Right? If you want to be accurate with your punches, train for accuracy. Train to get a crazy amount of torque into a focused shot with precision. A focused, precise shot with precision into your opponent. Understand what you're trying to do, what you want for yourself. Fight for your gains. Fight for the things you're trying to accomplish for yourself. Fight for all of it and stay fighting.